What up? No what? I bet I could do that. I'll move it back in the morning, if not tonight. Oh, there's somebody came in. What's up with your bad self? Jay Ryder, the Jayster, the J Who, the J Dog, and the Ralphster, the Ralph Meister. I always like Ralph Mouth. You remember Ralph Mouth? Tell the truth. Evidently you don't know him. Bummer. Yeah, there was one. I was up at the yard last night. I tell you what, that storm evidently reached all the way down to where my brother-in-law lives, down there Port Aransas way. Padre Island, I was just watching a little news clip. They had their main street blocked, shut down because of power lines. Well, last night it got pretty rough where I was there at the yard. I'm like, oh my. Does it sound familiar? Ralph, tell him who it was. Tell him where we know Ralph Mouth from. And now part of that's going to depend upon your age. So our Ralph might tell his age. That's right. Happy days. That was a good show in the beginning. It was alright, pretty much up to the end, but then when they started doing all the split offs because it had ended, I didn't get into those. But the original Happy Day stuff, I liked it. I might as well undo this belt, get comfortable. Was that his real name? Saddle Tramp, what's up, buddy? I seen where you got scared today. I don't know why you got scared. Texas is an open carry state. Oh, me, oh my. Oh, Henry Winkler, he was good. And you know, actually, the Fonzie that he played was nothing like Henry Winkler. And Henry went on to direct. I don't know if he produced or not, but he directed some pretty good stuff. Yeah, but luckily for you, you weren't in your truck. Oh, we down to two people. Well, evidently notifications did go out, but some of them might be watching that video I just released. It are what it are. Their sign over there says, "We'll call customers and shipping." What are you going to call them? And why call shipping? Oh, I know, tramp. Stopped and took me an hour-long nap today. Oh, yeah. Now that you called him Richie Cunningham, I can't think of his name. His real name. And I know it is almost as good as mine. But yeah, he's gone on to be a big producer. And for years, he's had that bald streak down his head. Oh, dadgummit. I got to know him on Andy Griffin. And now you got me where I'm trying to think of his name and I never will. Damn it, there goes the neighborhood. Ron Howard, there you go, thank you. Ron Howard. He did some damn good movies. You know, he started his directing and stuff on Andy Griffin. They had that Andy Griffin reunion, and I watched it, and he had came on there. And him and Andy was talking about whoever their producer was of it. And they said Ron would, after a couple years and whatnot, Ron would start having ideas and throwing these ideas at the producer or whoever, and said the gentleman was very attentive and listened to him and all that, and eventually started putting some of his ideas into practice, and that was Ron Howard's start. How cool, you know? Then I imagine he was doing the same thing on Happy Days. That was probably part of one of them contracts. Of course, we, the audience, back then didn't know what was going on. Oh. Carlos, I did a couple of tags or a couple of posts on your wall. One of them was actually about Mexico. Did you see that nonsense? They pretty much had a full-out war right there in the streets. It looked like a combat zone. Literally. They had captured one of the cartel guys, a bigwig. Oh. Oh, that's a bummer, Ralph. I hope everybody's okay. Oh, Gomer Pyle, you ever hear him sing? He's an opera singer. And he sang a little bit on Gomer Pyle. Yeah, it was El Chapo's son, yes. No, he did not escape. They let him go. Then they showed some bigwig. I don't read Spanish, so I don't know exactly who he was. But some bigwig, president of the country or something, he said that they chose to let him go because it was putting too many civilian lives in danger. You know? Being Mexico, I'm surprised they didn't execute him, to be honest with you, right there on the spot. No, you can't have him. Here, we'll end the war. But evidently they chose not to do that. Backwoods, what's up? Yes, he did have a beautiful voice. There was one episode where they was supposed to camouflage. What did he get? A bus, I think, or something. Maybe it was a truck. And a bunch of hippies out there. So they got singing and carrying on, and uh, beautiful voice he had. Then they wound up helping him paint that piece of equipment, whatever it was. They painted like a hippie van or some shit. It was pretty cool. Cracked me up. But yeah, I loved hearing his voice, and I'm not an opera fan at all. But yeah, he had a beautiful voice. I'll tell you someone else that had a beautiful voice if you heard him sing, which didn't happen off Edith. You know Edith? Now when you heard her singing, her and Archie singing when the show came on, oh, she sounded terrible. But when you heard her really singing, that woman had a voice. Edith Bunker. Yeah, how old is his? Pretty cool. Oh, me, oh my. I ain't gonna be on too terribly long. I took a nap today, but I'm just shot out, folks. I'm just wore down. Been a rough 2 or 3 weeks. A little bit. Now, I just did a post on the Three Stooges. It was a double photo, and it was the Three Stooges in their character, and then right beside it, silhouette type or whatever you want to call it, they had them in their street clothes out of character like regular folks. Which I shared that because I got a cousin that was a big Stooge fanatic. I tagged him in it. Actually, I put it on his wall and said, "You used to be a Stoogeaholic." And he said, "Still am." Back when they came out with VCRs and stuff, he'd go to bed recording it. He lived up there in Granite City, Illinois. That's by St. Louis. And certain day they had Stooges all night, a marathon deal. And he'd have his recorder going and have his alarm set, and he'd get up and change out VCRs. Cracked me up. So what's everybody doing? I know Carlos is eating tacos. Other than him eating tacos, what are y'all doing? Really? That'd be cool. Fajitas, tacos, same difference. You just didn't put lettuce on it. Sitting in Lincoln. Trucking sucks. Oh, wait. This is a great light. I love my job. Not. Carlos, I just put up a video you're going to want to get a hold of rather quickly. Kelly, my brother. We both keep threatening to call, and ain't neither one of us done it. Look, my fingers hurt. Not all of them. You want me to show you the one that ain't hurt? First time I liked it, yeah, it was alright. Uh, then every time you went to a truck stop, they was watching that nonsense. Got burned out on it. We done had that discussion, Tramp. It used to be great. See, and all you can compare it to is back when you was on the road. This modern day trucking is nothing like when you was out here. Nothing at all. We are now controlled by computers. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think the name of it. The Jeffersons. That's what the name of it was. Nomad, what up? The added sugar, I got you. I know you want to come back out, don't you? You and Saddle Tramp need to team together. You both love it too much. Hell, I ain't worried about discouraging the kids. You know what Barnum and Bailey said? Well, Backwoods, what do you do for a living, man? And how long you been doing it? And what changes have you seen go through it? I'm working on 30 years doing this, and I've seen it go from a very profitable job that I loved to what it is today. I'm now controlled by a computer. Traffic's a hell of a lot worse than it ever was, and I'm making half the money that I made when I started this 30 years ago. Now, if we had got our raises and it had moved up on the pay, it would be a lot different. Oh, there ain't nothing to be sorry about. That's like I told Tramp when me and him was talking on the phone. You know, yeah, I feel trapped in it. This is what I do. After 30 years, this is what I do. But I only got a little more time. So I'm not out here just having a miserable time, don't get me wrong. But I did my job, you know. I'm ready for this part of my life to be over. I got other plans for the future. And believe it or not, even with all I just said, my plans still involve driving commercially. Just not like this. Oh me, oh my, oh my, oh me. Oh, life is rainbows, man. Where's the lollipops? You gotta put lollipops on there. Long white line. Gonna have me in the background? Ooh. I don't like background checks there, young man. So don't put no check by me. And see, Tramp, we got people like Nomad and like Long White Line there. Them kids are coming up. Between the two of them, they can do half of the work I've done out here. Ouch! Did I get them or did I get them both? That was a twofer. What happened when you come put me in the background, young man? I'm all lined up on my dock doors for in the morning. I'll pull up about 6 feet or so, open the doors, butt the docks, hang a hard right, and get the hell out of Dallas. Stopped and took me a nap. I knew I wouldn't make it here before they closed. So grabbed me a nap. That half-hour nap turned into an hour nap type deal. Traffic should have been over. Man, I got into a mess coming into town. And coming into town, it should have been nice and easy peasy. And it was all right till I started hitting the downtown section. Nah. But it was moving. So, you know, it was good. Exactly, Kelly. Nomad, you know you love it. Oh, yeah. I forget what he said. I remember sharing it, though. Well, I came in at the end of the good days. Now, Kelly and Tramp, they both was in it before I was. Of course, they're a couple of old parts, too. But I came in it in the early 90s. That was the end of the good days. And the best money was made 20 years before that. In the 70s, truck drivers made pretty damn good money. Then in the 80s with the deregulation, that's when the trucking industry really started going downhill. And actually, my dad was trying to get me to get into a truck in the 80s. I didn't want no part of it. So, well, I'm going to run out of ice before the night's over. Bummer. I guess I'll grab me a couple of coffee in the can and put it in an icebox. At least I can have cold coffee in the morning. $176,000. Well, Jay Ryder, what I need some of y'all to do is make contact with some of these YouTubers like you're talking about. Tell them a little bit about my channel and get some kind of contact information. And I would like to cross-reference with them a little bit. I'd like to talk to them and and share some of their stuff. If I like what he's got, let him check out mine. But that's something I'm fixing to engage on, is trying to hook up with some decent truckers. There's some of them I don't want nothing to do with. So if you'll send a private message with his channel or link to his channel, I have an individual already set up that is going to check them out and engage with them and all that nonsense. I don't have time. I got a desk jockey that's going to do it. But anybody that knows of a good trucker, YouTube trucker on here, I would love to have their contact information. You can go to the About page on here or on Facebook. Go to the bottom of the About page, and should be a link there with my email address. Send it to me. I think you can go through Facebook. There should be a message on there. You should be able to send it through message. But most of you youngins know this nonsense better than I do. I hear you, Nomad. Ain't no such thing as ex-Marine, man. Get that X out of that vocabulary with Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. That does not say ex-Marine on it, or I used to be a Marine. That says United States Marine veteran. The Army and the Navy, you talk to them boys. The Air Force, yeah, I used to be in the Army. You don't hear a Marine say that. You hear a Marine say, I'm a Marine. Once a Marine, it's just like the Mafia, man. Once you're in, you're always in. You can't get out. It's all the mental state. Oh, you lucky rascal. Ain't nothing like Virginia back roads. Shame it ain't daylight. You ought to still have some good color up there. That's about the only thing I miss about running any place north, whether it's the Northeast or the Northwest. Is this time of year with the leaves changing and all. Of course, by now they might all be off with all that cold weather you had. I know leaves are falling like crazy at my house. Mr. Lakota is fixing to be very busy doing leaves. Well, looks like it calmed down around here. It wasn't too busy here. Little business over here had a few of them coming and going. I think they'll have some trucks coming back in. I've seen some day cabs going out. Oh, spell check's getting you boys tonight, ain't it? And if you're on them back roads, you need to quit texting. Or typing, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate you trying to be part of the conversation, but I'd rather you be safe. And remember, if you're ever in an accident, Them damn lawyers, they're going to get hold of your phone and they can legally do it despite what you hear truck drivers saying. And they'll go through every damn thing they can and see if you was doing something like this. And then it's all your fault. They might see where you sent a message on here 5 minutes before the accident, but if they'll bring it up in court and say, how do we know he wasn't trying to send another message? Who am I doing tonight? I ain't doing nobody, and don't you get them rumors started. Grandma's a jealous old woman, and she would shoot me. So I ain't doing nobody tonight. I'm doing me, and that's a handful. I hear you, Plum. See, now you need to ask Carlos that. His wife's looking over his shoulder right now, so ask him who he's doing. Let's get him in trouble. He forgot to buy lettuce and tomatoes, so his tacos turn into fajitas. Oh, me, oh my. Carlos, did you watch that video me and Grandma did the other night where we made the overstuffed quesadillas? I'll tell on myself, folks. I'm a terrible speller. I really am. And it was late night. And I'm trying to spell quesadilla, which I do good to spell my own name. And I put that post up. So yesterday morning, I'm talking to JJ. He works on some of my videos. And he says, did you really want that video called Cascadia? I said, say what? I said, don't tell me I did that. And he, yeah. Do you want me to change this to quesadillas, or do you want it as Cascadias? Yeah. Well, no, I don't want overstuffed cascade. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. No. Crack me up. I'll tell the truth. Oh, try and put it off on me, Plum. That ain't very nice of you. Yeah, that's no, man, that's over there by Norfolk, Virginia. I hear you, tramp. What do dealership truck mechanics make a year? Uh-huh. Right? What's up, Cutter? I don't know. I kept trying to spell it with a C and not a Q. It had been a long day. Oh. I was trying to cook a truck. Well, what's bad is I asked Grandma, I said, is this spelled right? And yeah, that's it. So, and Grandma's a damn good speller. She's always been my spell check, even before we got one on the computers and stuff. We had a legal battle going years ago, and me and this old boy are exchanging letters, and I'd write him out a letter, Grandma would go through and correct the spelling and the punctuation and all that good stuff. Then I'd read it again and I'd change the stuff up. And, oh, she got where she hated doing that. Then we finally went to court and we had copies of all of our letters and copies of all his letters. And we presented them as evidence. And bottom line is the judge ruled in our favor because we had all our evidence and we had all them letters and he's pointing out stuff in them. Sir, you told Mr. Barr this and da-da-da-da-dee and yeah, buddy. After that, she don't complain. She lets me do my thing and then she corrects my spelling. Didn't ask if you was doing good, asked who you was doing. That was the question. He had a wild party last night, folks. And he actually put up pictures of him in a dress, trying to pull it off. It was his Sweet 16, and he wasn't doing it very good. I ain't telling him. He got kids older than that. And next time, dude, shave your damn legs before you put a dress on, would you? That was plumb scary. Oh. You know, I'm right in the middle of downtown Dallas, so to speak. I mean, blocks away. A mile or two at the most. And it's relatively quiet here. I mean, every once in a while there's a levee type thing here. And I can hear traffic on the other side of it like a big truck bouncing down the road. But other than that, it's pretty quiet here. It's amazing to be in the city. And I give it about 2 or 3 hours and, well, no, I ain't going to hear gunfire around here, I don't think. But there's certain parts of town that I'm sure the gunfire and the sirens will be going. William, what is up with you? Man, if I was any better, people would think I like my job. Started the day off making my boss mad at me. That's always a good way to start a Monday. Well, I was over there by the yard, and it got pretty damn scary where I was at. They had a little bit of damage. I don't think we had actually a tornado where I was, but it was real close. The tornado sirens were going off, and I was watching a couple of trees right over there dance. And all I had for protection, I was in a bobtail, no trailer on it at the time, and got a little metal building, well, a big metal building, our shop. So the only thing I could do, because it was rocking this truck, I did a big old U-turn, and I got where that building was at least blocking the worst of the wind from me. Stayed there for about an hour. All right, Nomad, have a potato on me, man. Not literally on me, at my expense. No, we don't slip seat. Now, if you're going to be out of your truck for any extended amount of time, then it's possible somebody will use your truck while you're gone. But if you only take your normal time off, no, they don't slip seat. Now, if your truck is down, like mine has been a couple of times, instead of having you sitting around for 2, 3, 4 days, they'll put you into preferably an empty truck. And if they don't have one, they'll put you in somebody's truck that's on vacation. And this seat being this far up is driving me nuts. Ain't that crazy? Just that little bit of just out of the ordinary. I hear you. You potato fanatic. Lots of butter and pepper is all you need for them taters. Well, a little sour cream won't hurt. Half a can of chili. Might well throw some cheese on it since you did all that. But other than that, just butter and pepper is all you need. He's working a potato harvest up there, folks. That's why I'm teasing him about it. He'd be the Idaho potato man. Hey, look at the bright side, Nomad. Paul, he's working cotton. That cotton don't go down very well. It gives you a cotton mouth. Uh-huh. Miss Clementine. Appreciate your comments on that video this morning. I did put out another one too, right before I went live. Did you watch it yet? I figure some people decided to watch it before they came on live stream. I'll be interested in your comments on it as well. Oh man, I've done so many French fries when I was with Buell. Oh man. And we hauled them from West Coast to the East Coast. All the way down into Florida. Oh man. And get drug out on both ends. That's what aggravated me. If you was lucky, it was a 2-hour load, and sometimes it was a 2-day load. That's one of my pet peeves with this modern day trucking. Now, I understood back when I started, we would actually pick up in the field. Okay, I get that. We're out in the field. It's going to take a minute. They're picking it and putting it in the truck. Gotcha. But nowadays, you're going to a plant, and they've already booked a truck, and the stuff ain't ready, and they've already set up a delivery on the other end, on the other side of the country, and you're sitting over here saying, you want me there when? Really? Your time ain't working out right here. Something wrong with this math. And then when you say anything to a dispatcher about it, oh, well, just go ahead and pick it up and we'll deal with it. And then they want to get the truck driver for a service failure. You didn't make your delivery on time. No shit. You didn't give me enough time. How can you set an appointment up so tight and I ain't even picked it up? Hell, they ain't even got taters in there yet. And I took a bunch of that stuff to the prison systems too. I was just talking to someone about delivering it to prisons. They was in shock that we would deliver to prisons. Well, yeah, they eat better than we do, actually. So they need food. Majority of the time, people, you do not go inside the prison. Every blue moon you will, but the majority, 99% of the time, they have outside facilities that's outside the fences where you deliver to. Now, yes, there will be inmates there. They're called trustees. They're supposed to be the better of the bad. And they unload you, and all this stuff goes into an outside facility. And then they have smaller trucks that take it to the chow hall as they need it. It ain't a big deal. But I can tell you now, they get French fries and hash browns by the truckload. Literally. And they're not in a hurry to get it unloaded. They get done, they probably going to have to go back inside that fence, so they don't get in a hurry. Got done with chores. Did you go to my house and do some chores? Well, I damn sure wasn't quitting because I found beer cans in a truck. Now, I would have been letting people know, hey, y'all come out here and document this. Here's beer cans in here. The truck gonna smell like beer, and it wasn't this old boy. Well, I damn sure wouldn't have quit my job because someone else had a beer. How do you post a comment after the video posted? I'm not trying to be a smart ass dude, but I'd say go to where it says comment and click on it. Now, mine isn't open. Well, no, I know mine's open for comments. I get comments. Miss Clementine left several on a video I just did. I assume you can do that on these live streams as well. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Miss Clementine. What up, JJ? T-Love, what up? They do eat better than us, JJ. I wasn't joking. For you that don't know it, I used to be a prison guard, a correctional officer, a CO. And I can tell you now, they've actually got life better than we do, short of the fact that they don't get to go to town and do their own shopping and all that. And I was a CO in Missouri, and they had cable TV. They had it worked out through their canteen, where they rented a bunch of videos every weekend. And I would have to go let a convict out of his cell, take him up to the video room, and stand there while he changes out videos, and did this every 2 hours. Then I got in trouble because he didn't wake up to tell me to let him out. Because, you know, we've got a speaker system where we could hear in the wings. And when their video would end, he was supposed to step up to his cell and time for a video change. Now, he didn't do it real loud, but he didn't have to. Would pop his cell, I'd go in there, escort him. And he got where he wasn't doing it. Okay, then you'll miss the video. Man, they race fuss, and I'm the one that got in trouble. It ain't my job to go wake that convict up to change their video. Yeah. What up, Pam? Well, he ain't talking about live chat. He's talking about after the video goes up. Well, we were debating on just holding it up and waiting on you, T-Love. Not necessarily burnt out. As a CO, there's only a certain amount of positions that ever open up. So it's pretty much a dead-end job, in my opinion, unless you acquired a taste for crap and you like to kiss butt, which, believe it or not, that ain't me. Didn't have really trouble out of any of the convicts. Only a couple times out of some little city kids that thought they was little gangbangers. They'd watched too many movies. Majority of your convicts are decent enough people. Don't know what most of them was in for, didn't care. Your problem came from the other COs because they're trying to set you up, stab you in the back, lie on you, anything they can do to get that brownie point so that they might stand a chance in the future getting one of these positions that open up. And that wasn't me. That was when I decided to go trucking. I did it for 4 years. And I decided it's time to go trucking. So I did. Well, exactly, Miss Clementine. In the 4 years out there, I seen so many that they would get out, and they wouldn't be out 6 months or so, maybe a year, and they're right back in. And they would do stupid stuff just so that they'd go back to prison. You know, the outside world scared them. So... I hear you, Tramp. Well, back then, last thing I was a minister. I was not the cute, adorable fella you see today. Just call me a bottle of wine because I keep getting better with time. That's my story anyway. I'm sticking to it. Or else my eyesight's getting worse with my age. I don't think it's my eyesight. Oh, me, oh my. Well, just as well he didn't get back in. He wouldn't have liked it. They still would have made life hell on him. They would have been trying to get him at every corner that he turned. If he had belts, they would have accused him of something. It'd been a Trump scenario. Just like anything that Trump says, they try to turn it around and make it bad. I seen a post here a while back that it said that if Trump bought a bunch of kitten food for baby kittens, then the media would start hollering that he's a hater of adult cats. You know, that's about the size of it. Oh no, Cutter. I don't know nothing about no damn truck. What do you want to know? Clutch brakes are pretty simple, brother. Your clutches are two-stage. You barely, if it's adjusted right, okay? You barely push it down. That's when you shift your gears. When you're at a full stop, and I mean a complete full stop, is the only time that you go all the way to the floor with that clutch to put the truck into gear. Which is why we floated them. Did I answer your question before you even asked it? Well, actually, that's what that other video is about. I know that got your attention, didn't it? You conspiracy theorist, you. I gotta put in my next address. I wanna. Abilene ain't but maybe what, 100 miles from Dallas, if I remember. Well, I consider myself a Texan, not a Timex. And we can take a licking and keep on ticking too. Oh, I don't think I've been to this one before. Let's find out. 1065. Nope, dadgummit. Y'all bear with me, because now my curiosity's up. And Cutter, did I answer your question? I seen your question that you put up. And yes, you come to a full stop before you engage the full brake, the full clutch. If you don't, you burn that clutch out. And that's the biggest problem with these trucks that you hear where they're grinding the gears. Because somebody done burnt the brake clutch out. And normally, when you have that scenario, if you'll tap that throttle and build your RPMs up, then it'll go ahead and engage. One of my pet peeves is listening to one of them just grind on it. And I'm sitting there, man, tap it, tap it. They don't listen. Of course, I'm not over there where they can hear me, but... Oop. I'm gonna be Second Street. Let's see if they give me a south. No, they're not going to. Yeah, they did. Hot dogs. And let's save that to the address book. Now let's see how far I are.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Damn, 180 miles? I didn't think it was that far. I reckon so. I was thinking Abilene was just right down the corner. Yeah. Both sides of it. Okay, I'm a little farther than I thought. Then at home in PA. Well, you use full clutch as little as possible, Cutter. And you're just going to have to get to know your trucks as well. Now, you can have a clutch adjusted, but once they burn out your clutch brake, all you can do is have it replaced, which ain't a real big thing. All right, Carlos, I know you're tired, man. Good night, brother. Oh, I only did mine once. But I'm a firm believer in studying for it. You know, some people have a mental block when it comes to testing. Just the word test freaks people out. I got a story about that I can tell sometime. I was sick and quarantined in Houston one year when me and ex-wife lived there. And I'd read everything that there was to read around the house. Back in them days, I loved reading. The only thing left that I hadn't read was a book on how to take a test. I wasn't interested in taking any tests, so I didn't read it. Finally, it was the only thing left. MTV was just coming out then. And I started reading that book. Boy, that was a good book to read. I learned a whole bunch. I learned how to take a test. I found out a bunch of the phobias and whatnot, the mental blocks that they was talking about I had. And I learned how to cure them. So nowadays, I don't have a problem taking a test. A southern northern accent. That's interesting. The War of the Week. I'm not familiar with that. Send me a link to it. Let me check it out, please. And don't send it on here. I'll never be able to get it up here. You'll have to send in a message or something. It's twisted. I'm a rookie too. Cutter, are you driving now? Did you buy that truck from your sister? I know you was toying with it, and I think last time we spoke about it, you decided not to. If you're even still on here. And how's the house coming along? Well, I understand. I can read. I've only got a couple years too. Backing up, but you know, still only a couple years. I'm a rookie. Grandma sends out extra pillows. I'm so wet behind the ear, I get my pillars wet. Have to change them out every day. Well, folks, we've been on here over an hour, and I'm tired. I think I'm going to call it a night, just to be polite. Once you got your CDLs and a job, you became a professional. Rookie? Yes. Inexperienced? Yes. But don't let them downgrade you and call you anything but a professional. You might not be a good one. You might not be a good driver yet. But if you're doing it for a living, you are a professional. Yeah, I've got a Facebook channel. JJ, put up the link for the Facebook, please. Or you can go to the About page on the YouTube channel. Go to the About page, and there should be a link at the bottom of it. Simple Living with Papa Joe. You should see the same icon of my son and the whole bit. I do a lot of posting on there. Well, thank you, Plum. Night, Tramp. Back at you, T-Love. Thank you, JJ. So there's the link to it. It didn't work. That link he put up didn't work. If that's the case, we're going to have to find out what's up with that. Because they post that, and they post a link to the Patreon page where you can support the channel. They post my t-shirts. And if them links ain't working, we need to find out. If you don't mind, Miss Clementine, JJ, stick up them other posts for her and let her click on them and see if they're working or not. If they're not working, you, Little Joe, Carlos, somebody gonna have to fix something. I'll be aggravated if I find out all this time them links ain't been working. I'll be mad at my IT people. Well, then don't go. Well, JJ, evidently she shagged on us. Jay Ryder, click on that link for me, man. See if that link's working. Oh, okay. She is back. Somebody click on the link for me. Now y'all got my curiosity up. No, it didn't work. Well, bummer. How long has your husband been driving, Miss Clementine? And better yet, does he watch my channel? Yeah, I think he does. He is a subscriber. I think you both got on here. Okay, that one works. So it's the Sometimers link. Sometimers it works and sometimers it don't. Okay, almost a year. I knew she had said, but I'd forgot how long she had said. What up, New? Well, I haven't been hitting no damn trailers. How do you hit 3 of them? That'd be interesting. Did you get it on video? Thank you for checking them links out. See, you just got JJ and Little Joe and Carlos out of some trouble. I think start making phone calls in the morning, jumping somebody's butt. Well, I would joke by getting on camera. I was just jumping at people's butt the other day in the video about instead of getting out and helping, they grab their camera and do videos or take pictures. Oh me, oh my. Yes, you do, JJ. Don't start trying to make excuses. Well, as long as the guy you seen hitting them wasn't you, you're doing good. Now, the big question. Seriously. What did you learn from watching all of this bang them up? You watched them play derby car. What did you learn from it? Because if you're a rookie and you're still training, you should be learning from everything you're seeing. That was one of the things when I was training and we was waiting to get in a dock or was already in a dock, whatever. I'd be telling them, watch them. Tell me what they should be doing next. That's one of your best ways of learning about backing, is watching the truck, the wheels, and everything. Watch where they place them, and you be watching and trying to second guess them and say what you think they should do and see if they do it. You'd be surprised how much that'll help you. Well, that's a good lesson. Well, when I started driving, I was pretty decent at backing up. Oh, Miss Clementine, I see your message just came through. But I found it challenging, so I would find some of the hardest places you ever dreamed of to back in, especially at truck stops. And I got to be really good at it, I ain't gonna lie. I could do stuff that make people just trip out simply because I liked it. You know, where earlier I was talking about I'm burnt out, and I'm burnt out. But in the beginning, man, it was fun, and I found I would make it challenging on myself. And one of my pet peeves, or one of my favorite things, I should say, is I'd watch somebody else struggle and try to get into a parking spot, and they couldn't do it. I'd pull up there and put it in the hole. Oh, it'd make some of them mad. But I enjoyed it. Well, hardbacks are good for you. I mean, anybody can do the easy ones and the pull-throughs and all this stuff. What's that teaching you? You know, it ain't teaching you nothing. You need to be learning while you got an extra set of eyes out there and somebody with a little bit of experience at least, you know. That's when you need to be learning and hitting the hard spots. Now, did you turn your trainer onto my channel? Did your trainer subscribe and check out any of my videos? No, I don't park them for them. Now, I might get out and try to help you. And I've had some I've just thrown my hands up because they wouldn't listen. You know, I'd be out there, cut it the other way, and they won't listen. And I'm, okay, have it your way and walk away. I've done that. But I do not. One time, I'll admit, one time at a Chrysler plant, I forget who they was with, one of the Go trucks, cab over at that, back in the cab over days. And that woman could not get it in that damn, it was an inside dock. And there was about 6 of us waiting on her to get done so we could get the hell out of there. And finally I jumped up in there and I backed hers in there. And that truck was such a mess. Trash piled up to the top of the seat over there. It was disgusting. It was bad. Doghouse up here, and it just level trash across there. I said, never again. And I ain't never done it since. You are stuck on Swift, Jay Ryder. All right, Miss Clementine. My wife had that problem. She's a Texas gal, born and raised on the ranch, farm, whatever. When she got in this truck and I started teaching her, she got very intimidated because of the size. And finally I stopped at a petrol just outside of Kansas City. I never can think of where that petrol is on 70. It was on a Sunday, no one around on the back. We went back there, and I had to explain to her. I said, now, you grew up, what kind of trailers did you back up on that ranch? Well, she backed up bumper heads, she backed up goosenecks and all this. And I said, every one of those are harder to back up than this truck. The hardest thing about backing this truck up is your head. This truck will maneuver, and you can control that trailer easier than any farm trailer you've ever backed up. So don't let the size of this thing scare you and intimidate you. If you can back up that other stuff, this should be a cakewalk. Serious. This should be a cakewalk. Oh, I'm sorry to hear he's with Prime. Well, that's a matter of opinion on looking in that mirror and you can't see the whole length. There's a lot of times I can't see the whole length of my trailer, but I've already been watching and I know where my trailer is. And that to me, and this is two old guys talking about this, folks. He's talking about his way of doing it, and I'm talking about my way. That don't make his wrong, and it don't make mine wrong. It's just two different ways of doing it. And me, I'll be watching, and I'll know where that trailer's going to be, and I'll start putting my trailer there, and I might not be able to see all of it, but I know where it's at. And that's the whole thing, is knowing where your equipment is. So, and once again, it's going to be a deal of how you learn to do it, what you prefer doing. So he learned to do it one way, I do it another way. We both have good records for not tearing shit up, so neither one of us is necessarily wrong. He's gone bitter like vinegar. Who are you talking about going bitter? MS Carrier got bought out by Swift a long time ago. And Aggie girl. I didn't see anybody picking on Miss Clementine. Damn it, Tramp, huh? Well, my first year was gear grinder. Boy, that was the old cab over with that little short gear shift right here on top. I could grind some gears. I learned about that. Yep. Whatever you have to do to get your points. And we all come up with different visual points, reference points on what we're going to do. Now, something else that you have to learn, and you too, Miss Clementine, is that the biggest difference on backing up these trailers is where your trailer tires are set. If you've got them all the way back, the rear end of that trailer, well, you can control it better, in my opinion. And once again, this is my opinion. Or if you have the trailer shrunk up, or the tires all the way up, Now you have a lot more trailer swing, and that's where most of your damage comes from backing up, is your trailer swing. That's harder to control. So this is something that you have to work on for yourself. These kids that come out here now, and I call them kids, whatever their ages are, these new people that come out, they have that trailer set on the California hole, and they don't realize that they can slide that tandem either forward or backwards to make that particular spot easier. If you don't have as much room and you need that thing to turn quicker, then you want to shrink up. And now that trailer's going to maneuver quicker for you. If you want to keep better control of it and you have more room, you stretch it all the way out. And now you can really put that sucker on a dime if you want. But you have to work with it. It's a matter of you learning how to operate it. You know, so, and that's one of them tricks to backing up that so many rookies out here do not practice. So you really need to try it. The best thing that you can do, and unfortunately with these computer trucks, it's hard to do nowadays, because used to be, I'd go to the back of an empty truck stop and I'd let my student practice a while. And all right, put it in this hole. All right, go put it in that slot. All right, do that, you know. And there was plenty of empty holes, and you could slide your tandems, and you had plenty of room. They didn't have to worry about hitting anything, you know. Nowadays with that computer, you're going to have to go on duty. But that's one of the best things you can do is find you an empty parking lot and start shrinking and stretching out and seeing how that trailer changes its control when you're backing it up. And I suggest doing it at an empty truck stop so that you already got a clue. The wrong time to learn is when you really need it. You know? So you want to start learning and have an idea what it's going to do before you need it. And just so you know, Miss Clementine, I worked at Prime. That's where I was at when I taught Grandma how to drive. All right, now enjoy your evening. No, I don't miss cab overs at all. I hear you on the fingerprints. I hear you. Well, evidently he ain't too young, so. Well, there's plenty bad about Prime. Now, they may have changed. It's probably been 15 years since I drove over there. But the old saying is, lever don't change its spots. Oh, they must be a parking lot cleanup crew. Thought about trying to get into that at one time. Not too long ago. I didn't watch. I wonder if he had one of them little sweepers he unloaded out of that. Lucas, howdy. Yep, he got a little sweep right there. Well, thank you, Lucas. Appreciate you subscribing. Share me with some of your peoples. I'm trying to get my channel to grow a little bit. Now Miss Clementine gets her husband to subscribe and share my channel with his students. That would help. Well, it's a lifestyle, Lucas. Have you went in and watched all my trucker videos telling you about it being a lifestyle, not just a job? You go to the playlist and look up, what is it, So You Want to Be a Trucker, I think? There's a few videos on there trying to help folks out. Saddle Tramp, I seen your comment. And yes, I am a big fan of me. If I don't like me, then I couldn't be on here. For years, I didn't like me. And I finally got comfortable in my own skin. Yeah, just go to the YouTube homepage here for me and click on the playlist. And there's 2 or 3 playlists. One of them is Truckers Helping Truckers or something, where I do some phone interviews with people coming into the industry. Others are just where I'm talking about trucking. Some of them's where I've had a bad day, and I tell you all the bad parts of trucking. I also tell you some of the good. And there's a whole bunch of videos. You need to just go chill out and start doing that marathon watch. All right, folks. It's after 11 o'clock. I need to get to bed. These people will be opening up early in the morning, I hope. I appreciate y'all coming in, sharing your time with me. Y'all remember, good Lord loves you, and so do I. Y'all have a blessed evening. I'll see you next day or two. Who knows when I'll get on here next. Oh, my truck's doing fine, Lucas. Y'all have a good evening now. Love you. Bye.